Welcome back to another episode of Grit on the Rocks podcast, where men talk about real issues in our own unfiltered way. Sometimes you might agree with us, sometimes you won't, but that's totally okay. Because that is one of the beauties about being in this lovely country we call America. America. So pull up a chair, grab a drink, light up your favorite cigar if that's what you're into, and enjoy the conversation. Or if you're listening to us on your drive, buckle up and enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more honest conversations served neat, just like your favorite whiskey. This is Grit on the Rocks podcast, a Buenos Dias Media production.
This podcast is a Buenos Dias Media production.
This is the Grit on the Rocks podcast, where raw conversations meet smooth sips. Pull up a chair, pour your favorite drink, puff on your favorite cigar, and join us as we dive into the convos that matter. No scripts, no barriers, just unfiltered truth served straight up. Cheers to the real ones out there. Salud.
All right. So today we're touching on a topic that might be a bit touchy. Sadly, I think it's something common that men especially get accused of, and sometimes it's justified that they get accused, but sometimes it's not. But it's a stereotype that men have created for themselves. Yes, we are to blame. But even though it might be less common in women, they also do it too. Mm-hmm. So what am I talking about? Cheating. I found one of those, anonymous written pieces that we take, modify a bit, and read it together. So I decided to put this together. So
they didn't do a lot of men bashing.
This is not how to cheat, just in case.
No. I'm saying
don't get it twisted.
That article did they do a lot of men bashing?
No. It doesn't specify for who, but I like to speak to both sides of the,
right,
the court, basically. So no, this is not a guide on how to cheat, but we're breaking down 22 reasons people mess up their marriages and how to fix these blunders before you end up living out of your car. From rush decisions and bad habits to exes who won't stay in the past. We'll unpack it all with insights, stats, and just enough humor to keep it interesting. We also have, as usual, our Whiskey Bar Wisdom, Barstool Banter, Hero of the Day. And we also have some male fail or meh. So, again, if you're not at work, if you're just at chill mode, pour yourself a drink, get comfy, and let's save some marriages today.
The views and opinions expressed by the host, guest, and/or participants of this show do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Buenos Dias Media LLC, its associates, partners, and show sponsors. The content is intended for entertainment purposes and should not be construed as professional advice. Listener discretion is advised.
All right, so this is the 22 reasons people cheat and what to do about them to avoid crashing and burning everything you have built. Again, this is not 22 ways to get around cheating. This is not 22 ways how to cheat and get away with it. It's how to avoid it before it happens, right?
How does this stop it?
So let's jump into number one, no specific order. The first one is rushing into marriage. A lot of people are getting married for society, for their parents, because they had a baby together, or just to be called husband and wife. This rush into marriage of getting married for the wrong reasons will lead you to struggle to be faithful, as as you married a stranger or someone you don't connect with. A connection can be worked on if both are willing. Getting married just to make your parents happy, right? To solve a surprise baby situation or slap that title of husband or wife on your Instagram bio is just a recipe for disaster. A rushed marriage often feels like waking up to a stranger who hogs up the blanket and doesn't like the same Netflix shows. Marriage isn't about race, isn't a race, but to many people, they're sprinting to the altar like there's a prize at the finish line. Whether it's pressure from family, a baby on the way, or just wanting to post a wedding hashtag, rushing into marriage can leave you with someone you barely know. Statistically, couples who date for less than a year before marriage are 20% more likely to divorce. So build a connection first. Don't try to figure out your spouse's middle name after the honeymoon. So what is a fix for that, right? Because we have the situation and we're also offering a fix. So the fix would be take your time. A strong marriage is built on connection, not convenience. According to the study of Emory University, couples who dated 3 years or more before marrying are 39% less likely to divorce. Slow down. Take the time to really get to know your partner before walking down the aisle. Premarital counseling isn't just for people with issues, it's for everyone. Treat marriage like a crock pot meal, not a microwave dinner. The longer the simmer, the richer the flavor. Okay?
Yeah, I'm going with that. Best way, getting to know that person.
Yeah.
You know, it took me 3 years of, being before we became married. I was dating my wife for 3 years, so
Yeah,
you get to know all the bad habits and whatnot.
My wife and also 3 years before we got married.
You know, it's the best. It's the best way.
Yep.
Most of the time, these people rush in is mostly because of the babies.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's like it says, sometimes to please people. When are you gonna get married? Or when are you gonna do this?
That's stupidity. Trying to please someone, even if it's your parents, you're getting married to please them, is stupidity.
So, yes, that is correct. So number 2, emotional neglect. The key component of relationships is companionship. If you don't attend to your partner's emotional needs, someone else who values your partner more will be willing to do so. Most affairs start as an emotional bond. Cultivate emotional intimacy between you two. Communicate warmly and often. And don't push your partner away. If your partner feels like you're giving more attention to your fantasy football league than to them, someone else might step in and fill the void. Emotional neglect is the gateway drug to infidelity. Neglect your partner's feelings long enough and someone else will start a quote-unquote customer service hotline for them. Most affairs start with emotional bonding, not physical attraction. It's like feeding a stray cat. You give it attention and suddenly it's living in your house.
Mm-hmm.
To keep things on track, talk often, show appreciation. Don't let Netflix replace your date night. So what is the fix? Communicate regularly. Even a simple, how was your day? Can go a long way.
Yeah,
Cultivate.
Even a simple flower, just come up with a simple flower to your significant other.
Yep. Cultivate emotional intimacy. It's cheaper than marriage counseling. Schedule regular check-ins where you talk about more than just bills and grocery. Ask, how are you really doing? And listen without interrupting. Pro tip, if your spouse says nothing's wrong, that's code for dig deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, old habits die hard. If during your singlehood or younger years in your past relationship, you used to be casual about sex and you don't deal with your past, you will do the same in marriage. Take stock of your habits. Leave behind dangerous habits. If you were the type to ghost people and treat relationships like casual hookups before marriage, those habits might carry over. Marriage doesn't erase your bad patterns, it amplifies them. If you were the Casanova of your single friend group, don't expect those habits to disappear magically once you say, I do. Your marriage license isn't an exorcism for bad behavior. Reflect, grow, and leave the bad habits at your bachelor pad. The fix: reflect on your past behaviors, get therapy if needed, read self-help books, or just ask yourself, am I acting like a grown-up? That's a question that many people need to ask themselves. Reflect on your single life behavior. If you were a party animal or a serial dater, consciously leave that mindset behind. Seek accountability from a trusted friend or therapist to help break unhealthy patterns. This is something I have seen. You know, I've known people that they've been in the dating pool for a very long time. And it's like they seem to never settle down. And then one day they do. But they're still in the mentality that they had when they were in the dating pool. And usually, sadly, their relationships don't last that long. But somehow, it's not their fault.
Really?
Yeah. So number 4, hanging out with the wrong crowd. The wrong friends will incite you to be unfaithful. And granted, I'm talking about men here because I am a man. But this applies to men and women. This is not
There's
only
always-
for men.
There's always one of those that'll just be like, yo, look at that person's checking you out. Why don't you try to get it and get them digits or whatnot?
Yep. So the wrong friends will incite you to be unfaithful and even cover up for you because most likely they're also having affairs. Surround yourself with friends who will keep you accountable. Your squad matters. If your friends treat fidelity like a running joke and cover for your misdeeds, you're setting yourself up for trouble. Don't get me wrong. I believe in the bro code, but it's sad, especially when there's kids in the mix and people let their friends throw away their life and everything they built. I'm not saying go tell on them, but as a friend, it's okay to let them know that you don't support their actions. Yeah, I'm not saying go and tell their wife, because usually, let's be honest, men who do that, they're trying to get with your wife. So don't do that. Don't go and tell them. But it's okay to let your friend know, like, dude, I don't think this is cool. I'm not with it. I can't be a part of this, right? So, okay, let them know that you don't support their actions. If your buddies are planning a quote-unquote boys trip to Vegas every month or covering for each other's bad behavior, you might want to rethink your inner circle. Surround yourself with friends who encourage you to honor your marriage, not ones who treat vows like punchlines. Surround yourself with accountability-driven friends is the fix. Or at least one who will remind you to delete incriminating texts before your spouse finds them. Upgrade your squad. Surround yourself with friends who value their own marriages and will call you out if you start slipping. If your friends are toxic, it's time to trade in the drinking buddies for brunch buddies. But yeah, I'm not saying go and tell on your friends if you're the friend who is seeing this, because not always, but most of the times, friends who go and tell on their friends, they're trying to be that shoulder for the girl to cry on.
If you have a hot wife,
there's dudes.
If you have
that
a
will
messed
try.
up wife, what's the reason then?
I've known a few of those, man, where they're like, oh, this guy's fucked up. Blah, 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 blah. And they're just trying to like bang your wife or your girlfriend. And yeah, that don't fly well ever. So yeah, don't be that person. Just be the person who calls out your friend and be like, dude, cut this shit. You know? And it's true. I try to surround myself with people who I know appreciate their own marriages. I'm not trying to hang out with, a man slut. You know, it's just I'm not looking for that. Anyway, number 5, right before we take a break yet. Number 5 is the bedroom blues, aka sexual frustration. When your sexual needs, this one is key, men, women, listen. When your sexual needs are not met at home, when you have a wife who keeps making excuses and seems disinterested in making love, when you have a husband who makes having sex all about him or who no longer desires you, this can lead to frustration that makes you vulnerable to temptation. Take care of each other's sexual needs. Husbands, learn to touch your wife, to foreplay, and how to give her pleasure even if your erection doesn't last or you bust too soon. Mm-hmm. Wives, learn to sexually engage, to communicate what you want to seduce your husband. When intimacy feels like a chore, it's easy to start imagining greener pastures. A lackluster sex life often leads to wandering eyes and hands. Marriage without intimacy is like pizza without cheese. Something important is missing. Studies show that sexual dissatisfaction is the leading cause of infidelity. Husbands, men, listen up. Learn the art of foreplay. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Wives, communicate your needs and don't underestimate the power of a well-timed wink. Keep the spark alive. What's the fix?
Go ahead.
What's the fix? Talk about your needs. Husbands, foreplay isn't optional. Wives, seduction works both ways. Spice it up before someone else tries to. Communicate your needs openly but kindly. If something's not working in the bedroom, talk about it. Husbands, brush up on the foreplay techniques. Keep going back to that. Wives,
that's what I was going to tell you before you continue. Before you continue, I'm sorry I cut you off. That's where they say that whatever time you think that foreplay should be, duplicate it or triple the time. That'll help you out.
There you go. So I've explored new ways to spice things up, and don't forget, laughter is sexy. Don't take it too seriously.
Literal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I'm not trying to sound like a marriage counselor here. Again, this is a topic. I think it's an important topic. I think it's a topic that's talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. Maybe not this way. I think it's a topic that needs to be spoken amongst men. I think it's a topic that's not really talked amongst men unless it's a guy with his cheerleader buddies, rooting him on to go ahead and do it. And if you, as the person who tries to be the voice of reason, you become the outcast because, oh no, this guy is a square or whatever you want to call it. But the truth is, I think this is a conversation that needs to happen amongst men and amongst women. I think marriage is sacred, especially if you get married and vows are not just words that you say. If you really felt what you said in your vows, then you should, uphold them. Not just saying words to say words and sound nice and sound deep. I think it's very important. So this is why I wanted to do this episode. Again, it might not be the funniest episode, but I think it's a conversation that needs to happen amongst men and amongst women, amongst us all. Women should have it with women. Men should have it with men. And let's keep it pushing. So let's take a moment to highlight one of our supporters. And when we get back, let's do some whiskey bar wisdom. If you want to be a part of the show and submit your messages to participate in our segments, go to gridontherocks.com, scroll down to the Contact Us section, and submit it right there. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. This is Grit on the Rocks podcast, a Buenos Dias media production.
Looking to connect with like-minded men who share your drive for success and passion for the finer things in life? Welcome to the Apex Gentlemen's Guild, a private members club for men who value ambition, camaraderie, giving back, and personal growth. For a limited time while we're fully remote, you can join the guild for free. Gain access to tons of motivational content, exclusive events, insightful discussions, and a network of high-performance individuals. Don't miss this chance to elevate your social circle. Request to join today at facebook.com/groups/Apex Gentlemen's Guild, or give us a like at facebook.com/Apex Gentlemen's Guild. The Apex Gentlemen's Guild, excellence forged in unity.
So, before we continue with our list of 22 reasons people cheat and how to stop it, right, before it happens, and stop sabotaging yourselves, let's do some whiskey bar wisdom.
Whiskey bar wisdom.
All right, there's nothing magical about it. Here, drink this. Tell me what's on your mind. Come on.
Whiskey bar wisdom. You provide the stories, we provide the opinions, unprofessional advice and the laughter. Grit on the Rocks podcast.
All right. So this one comes to us from Louisville, from Danny from Louisville. Okay, dear Grit on the Rocks team. First off, let me just say, you guys are my spirit animals. Well, more like my spirit drinks. Bold, smooth, and with just the right amount of burn. I'm Danny from Louisville, Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world. So you already know I have some thoughts about whiskey and wisdom. Here's a little nugget of advice I learned the hard way. Never trust a man who puts Diet Coke in good bourbon. Let me tell you how I came to this revelation. A few years back, I invited a buddy over to try the small batch bourbon I'd been saving for a special occasion. I'm talking about the kind of whiskey that makes grown men cry and oak barrels proud. He shows up, takes one look at it and says, "Do you have any Diet Coke?" I thought he was joking, but no, he poured it right in. As if he was mixing Kool-Aid. The betrayal hit me harder than my grandma's switch on Sunday mornings. From that day forward, I vowed only to associate with people who respect their bourbon neat or on the rocks as the whiskey gods intended. So my whiskey wisdom is this. If someone disrespects good bourbon, what else are they capable of? Forgetting your birthday? Stealing your dog? Rooting for the Cowboys? Love the show, love the banter, and love that y'all don't take yourselves too seriously. Keep it up. If you're ever in Kentucky, first round's on me. Just don't ask for a Diet Coke. Cheers. Danny from Louisville. P.S. If you read this on the show, I'll pour myself a double in your honor. That's a good one. I guess, it's like I said, I like flavored whiskey. I like chocolate whiskey, peanut butter whiskey.
So you can't drink the regular one, right?
This is, I can't.
Yeah, I could. I
get the feeling behind this. This is like, the Hispanic community and their food. Right. Somebody cooks a meal and they're like, "Oh, you have ketchup?" Like they feel insulted.
Yeah, that's always a debate.
So I get it, but that would probably be me. You have to soda, something to pour in.
No, I could actually drink. I've had a shot of bourbon, whiskey, and whatnot. Straight without anything.
Is that? I don't like doing shots. I like to sip my drink.
No, I understand that.
So when it's bourbon, scotch, whiskey, if it's too strong and I gotta be making faces to drink it, I'm not enjoying it. I like to enjoy what I'm doing. It's like I said, I enjoy a mild cigar. I especially enjoy Connecticut Shade Wrapper cigars. They're mild, but some people like them strong, and some people like, oh yeah, it feels like it sits on your chest. Why would I want to feel that? I want to enjoy what I'm doing. Oh, this tastes like pepper. I don't like pepper. Why would I want a cigar that tastes like pepper? So, but that's just me. I don't know. If I'm not enjoying it, if I have to make a face, if I have to like do all this, grimacing your face and all that, then I'm not enjoying it. So, no.
But yeah, you'll be that Coke guy.
I'll be the guy pouring Coke into bourbon. Okay, so number 6 on the list of the 22 reasons people cheat in marriage and how to stop sabotaging yourself. Number 6 is same arguments, different day. If you two keep arguing over the same issue, you will grow apart. Soon you will find someone of the opposite gender, unless you like their same gender, to vent to, and who will make you feel more understood than your spouse does. And boom, an affair will sprout. Learn to solve issues quickly as a couple. Seek to understand each other. Keep off the little foxes. Side note, that's actually biblical when it tells us that the little foxes destroy the crops and we must keep them out. So, perpetual arguments make home life feel like a courtroom drama. If you can't resolve issues, you'll look for someone who understands you, quote unquote, understands you. Ever argue about the same issue so many times you could recite each other's lines? That's when someone else swoops in with the quote unquote understanding ears. Come here, cry on my shoulder. They resolve
I know what
conflicts
it feels
quickly.
like.
Yeah. Don't let minor issues turn into a full-blown soap opera. So what is the fix? Address issues head on. Studies show that couples who argue productively are 10 times more likely to have a happy marriage than those who avoid conflict. Learn to fight fair. Avoid words like always and never. Take breaks during heated arguments and revisit the issue calmly. Consider couples therapy for recurring conflicts if that's what you think you need. It's like a gym membership for your marriage. Some people like it, some people don't. So, number 7, the temptation of coworkers. For many, the current work environment is not pro-family. You spend 5 or sometimes 6 days a week at work, early morning till evening, spending more time with colleagues who sometimes wear seductively or flirt a lot as you give your spouse and children the exhausted you. This is why a lot of affairs happen at work. The one you spend more time with, you create a bond with. Be deliberate about spending time with your spouse. Come home early. Let your spouse know you're close colleagues. Take a shower immediately when you come home to give your spouse a fresh you. This I agree with 100%. Like right now, yeah, like if you're at work, and this is how I look at it. If you're at work and if you're a man and you have female colleagues and you're around females most of the time and you become friends with 1 or 2 of them or whatever amount of them, your spouse should meet these people.
Yeah.
I think it's a problem when people hide. This is why when they say like men and women can't be friends, they sort of can. It's just, are you hiding this person? Like if my wife has a man friend and this man friend never takes the time to meet me, there's a problem. Either he's hiding something, feelings or whatever, or intentions, or she is. And that's where the issue comes. My wife can tell you, I have female friends. She's met all of them. Some of them she even has their phone number, and they chat and they, text and they, not hang out, but we've hung out together and stuff like that. That's how I look at it, because it's just friendship. There's nothing more than that. But it's the hiding or the refusal to meet the spouse, that's where the issue is, right? So office flirtations happen when you spend more time with colleagues than your spouse. That flirty team building activity could turn into team destroying if you're not careful. Workplaces are basically breeding grounds for affairs, long hours, shared coffee breaks, and that one coworker who accidentally brushes your hand. Spend time with your spouse, not just Karen from accounting. Set boundaries, and remember, your wife doesn't care if Karen brings homemade brownies. What's the fix? Create boundaries. Introduce your spouse to your work buddies. Like I said, I believe in that 100%. And leave the flirting for sales pitches. Set clear boundaries with coworkers. Keep conversations professional. And avoid after-hour hangouts unless your spouse is invited too. That is true. Make it a habit to talk about your workday with your partner to maintain transparency. Couldn't agree more. Number 8, lust over love. Lust makes you self-centered and leads to a sex addiction that is all about you and your orgasms. This will lead you to use multiple people even when you have someone you should be committed to. The cure for lust is love. Think more than just yourself. Get an accountability partner. Seek counseling. Ignore messages, social media groups, and sex talks that fuel lust. What's the fix? Shift your focus to love and commitment. Get accountability partners. Turn off those late night sultry TikToks and remember why you married your spouse. Control your environment. Unfollow social media accounts that fuel unhealthy desires. All that porn and all that shit, get rid of it. Install accountability apps if necessary. Focus on building intimacy with your spouse and remind yourself daily why they are the one you chose.
And not surround yourself with ugly colleagues.
Control. So,
no temptation there.
Number 9, long distance drama. Distance exposes you both to potential temptation as it robs you face-to-face interaction with which grows intimacy. If you lack self-discipline, you might fall for someone physically close to you to take the place of the one who is far from you. If you are in a long-distance relationship, marriage, use technology to communicate often. Be accountable to each other about where you are and with who. End the session of being far from each other soon. Yep. Out of sight doesn't mean out of temptation. Distance can lead to loneliness, and loneliness often invites trouble. Long distance relationships aren't for the weak. Use technology. FaceTime isn't just for showing off your lunch. Check in, stay connected, and set a timeline for closing the gap.
No, that's like the hardest.
My wife and I did that. Yeah.
Long distance relationship is like the hardest.
Yeah, my wife and I did that. I mean, we did it for a few months until I ended up moving out here. And, obviously we weren't married at the time. We were just sort of, dating,
Getting to know, yeah.
And we did a ton of stuff. Like, we would watch movies together. We would eat dinner together. We would just spend time, if it was, over FaceTime and I had already set a date. This is how long we're going to do this. I should be here by X date. And this is, and I mean, thank God it worked. All right. Number 10, before we do some barstool banter, innocent help gone wrong. A lot of affairs by good-hearted people start as a genuine desire to help someone of the opposite gender, only for romantic feelings to develop because the helper and the one being helped start to feel needed. It is good to help, but when you help someone of the opposite gender, involve your spouse. Yep. Trying to quote-unquote save someone of the opposite gender can turn into a romantic entanglement faster than you think. You're just being a good Samaritan until quote-unquote helping leads to candlelit dinners. When assisting someone of the opposite sex, involve your spouse. 2 is company. 3 keeps things clean. So what's the fix? Involve your spouse when helping others. Transparency is your armor here. When assisting someone of the opposite gender, involve your spouse. For example, let's both go help Susan move her couch. If your partner isn't available, consider passing the task to someone else. Yep, 100%. So far, I'm agreeing. So let's take a break from the list and do some barstool banter. Hopefully have some funny ones, right, to lighten up the mood a bit. It's a little quiet here. But yeah, let's do some barstool banter.
Barstool Banter, brought to you by Buenos Dias Media, where great stories come to life. Welcome to Barstool Banter, the segment where your wildest, funniest, and most unforgettable stories take center stage. Whether it's that crazy night out with the guys, a hilarious encounter at the bar, a day out with the family, or an unforgettable moment with friends, we want to hear it all. Each week, we dive into your emails, share the best stories, and pick our favorite one, and who knows, maybe even win a prize. So grab a drink, light it up, pull up a stool, and let's get into some Barstool Banter.
Barstool Banter, brought to you by Buenos Dias Media. Okay, so our email number 1, first one comes from Mike in Des Moines, Iowa, titled The Turkey Trot Tragedy. Hey, Grit on the Rocks crew. First, I just want to say you guys are doing God's work. Talking cigars, whiskey, and life lessons we didn't know we needed. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now let me tell you about the time I became the laughingstock of Thanksgiving. Every year, my family participates in the local Turkey Trot 5K. It's mostly an excuse to eat pie, guilt-free. But this year, I had a plan. Win. I'm no athlete, but I figured I'd outpace Uncle Ron, who moves slower than dial-up internet. Halfway through, I'm feeling good until I hear this kid behind me yelling, "Move it, old man." I turn around to give him a piece of my mind, but trip over my own shoelaces. The next thing I know, I'm face first in a pile of leaves. And who comes trotting past me? Uncle Ron, holding a turkey leg he somehow smuggled onto the course. Long story short, I came in dead last, got roasted at dinner, and now my nephew calls me Mr. Crasher Mike. So my barstool banter wisdom is this: never tie your shoes in double knots. Triple knots are the way of the future. Cheers, Mike. P.S. Next year, I'm skipping the trot and going straight to the whiskey. All right. Number 2 comes from Tony from Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, Grit crew. You guys asked for embarrassing stories? So here's one I've never lived down. A few years ago, my buddies and I hit a karaoke bar after a couple of drinks. Fine. Maybe more than a couple. I decided it was time to unleash my hidden talent. I signed up for Bohemian Rhapsody thinking I was about to blow everyone's minds. Spoiler, I blew eardrums. Halfway through, I got so into the performance I tried to slide across the stage on my knees. Turns out, carpet burns don't pair well with tequila.
Oh my God.
To make it worse, the guy running the karaoke machine cut me off because it's a family establishment. Dude, I was just getting to the headbanging part. Now, anytime someone even mentions Queen, my friends start humming, "We Are the Champions," sarcastically. Lesson learned, stick to Sweet Caroline. The crowd will do the work for you. Rock on, Tony. P.S. Freddie Mercury deserved better. And so did that audience.
Okay.
All right. Number 3 comes from Chattanooga, Tennessee. What's up, boys? Let me start by saying I listen to the podcast every week while mowing my lawn, so naturally this story involves both. A few weeks ago, I decided it was time to teach my teenage son how to mow the yard. He's always on his phone, so I figured it'd be good for him to experience hard labor. Well, things were going fine until when I went inside to grab us a couple of waters. I come back out to see him riding the mower like a rodeo bull, blaring Old Town Road from his phone. Turns out, he ran over a stick, and the mower started vibrating like crazy. Did he stop? Nope. He just screamed, "I'm breaking it in, Dad," while the neighbors filmed it for TikTok. Now half the lawn is shaved down to dirt. The mower smells like smoke, and my wife says this is why we hire professionals. More of the story, some lessons are better learned after your kid moves out. Cheers, Greg. P.S. If you see a viral video of a kid mowing donuts to Lil Nas X, just know I'm the guy sobbing in the background. Yeah, so, I mean, I would have to say the third one was the best one.
Yeah, the only thing that made me laugh on the second was that rug burn.
So,
like, how you gonna try to slide on the rug?
From Chattanooga, you are today's winning story. Congratulations, sir. You win a shout out. All right, so let's go back to business here. Let's continue with the 22 reasons people cheat and how to avoid it. Number 11 is the career chaos. Some careers will put you in sexually charged environments or cause you to travel a lot. And if you're weak, you will have sexual encounters with others. As you pursue a profession you love, keep your family as a priority. Traveling for work or being in an overly flirtatious industry can breed temptation. Some jobs are harder on marriages than others. Think travel-heavy careers or roles in high-stress industries. Studies show careers in entertainment and hospitality have the highest rates of infidelity. Prioritize family and remember, no job is worth losing your marriage over. So what's the fix? Keep your family in focus, set boundaries with coworkers, and always prioritize coming home with integrity intact. Prioritize family over work. Create routines that include your spouse, such as texting during breaks or calling on your lunch hour. If you're traveling, send updates and stay connected. Remember, work funds your life, not your love life. Number 12, revenge cheating. Some people become unfaithful because their spouse was or is unfaithful. You might think that you are punishing your spouse, but actually you're stooping low as you abandon your principles. Just because you are hurt doesn't mean you go out of character. Don't let your spouse's mistake make you become who you are not. If your spouse cheats, doing it back doesn't fix the problem, it makes it worse. You cheated, so I'll cheat too. That's like punching yourself because someone stepped on your toe. Revenge cheating solves nothing and destroys everything. Instead, focus on repairing what's broken or moving on with dignity. What's the fix? Not revenge. Remember, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Take the high road. If your spouse has been unfaithful, address the issue through honest conversations or professional counseling. Retaliation might feel satisfying in the moment, but will ultimately destroy trust permanently.
Either way you look at it, they try to address it. They always end up in an argument. They're still going to go their separate ways doing whatever they want to do.
I don't know. Number 13, identity crisis. When you have low self-esteem and doubt yourself, it is easy to use your sex appeal to give you a confidence boost. I think that's more for women. As a man, you will find yourself pursuing multiple women to have sex with. To have sex with them just to prove you can. As a woman, you will find yourself entertaining men, flirting with them, and having sex with them to see if you truly are beautiful. Find yourself and love yourself. When you are lost, you will hurt those around you, especially your spouse. Low self-esteem can lead to you to seek validation in the wrong places. That's 100% true. Low self-esteem can lead to destructive behavior. Men might chase women to feel powerful, while women might seek validation and attention from others. So what's the fix? Work on self-love and confidence. Your spouse didn't sign up to be your therapist. Focus on self-growth. Start a new hobby, hit the gym, or join a support group to build confidence. Remember, you're more than your insecurities. Being your best self benefits not just you, but also your spouse. All right, let's see. Number 14, the porn problem. Once your mind gets used to desiring images and videos of porn stars, soon your mind will want real sex with others, as you have trained it to desire more than your spouse. Teach your mind to focus on your spouse alone. Stop allowing porn to distract you. Porn trains your brain to crave variety, making your spouse seem less exciting. Porn rewires your brain and trains you to seek a variety over commitment. Studies show that couples where one partner regularly consumes porn are 300% more likely to divorce. Damn, 300%. Focus on your spouse, not on your screen. So stop looking at the videos and doing all that shit. Stop it. Stop. The fix is cut out porn, man. Stop it with the whacking with porn. Stop. Studies show.
Stay with the porn. Look, stay with the porn if you're single.
Yeah, man, if you're single, but still, it's...
Yeah, you still get accustomed to it, and that's it. It's a wrap.
Studies show that couples who avoid it report greater satisfaction in their sex and love life. Replace screen time with quality time. Make a pact with your partner to be more present in the relationship. If porn addiction is an issue, seek counseling or join a support group. Porn Anonymous? No, just kidding. Your mind should desire your spouse, not strangers on a screen, man or woman.
What about if it was both of them? You know, like, let's say they watch it as a couple. Is it okay or not?
It doesn't say, I mean, I don't know.
No, I get it if it's one person.
You think it's okay?
Well, a once in a blue thing, yeah.
Oh,
you know?
It's okay then.
But I'm just saying, it's like, it's bad if one of them is doing it all the time.
Well,
you know, either female or male.
Anything,
but if you do it with your spouse or whatever, I don't think it's that bad. But if
anything in excess is bad. Anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why it says, I guess, like the addiction of it. I mean, if you're addicted to it, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Anything in excess, you know, like we've said before, even love. You can love someone, be affectionate, but even that in excess becomes a problem.
Yeah, it becomes obsession.
All right, so number 15, financial struggles. Some people are sleeping with their employers, bosses, clients, or financiers to get a job or a promotion. If you use sex to get it, you will use sex to keep it. Don't be a sex slave to a boss who doesn't value your potential and merit. Your spouse will not be happy eating food or living in a house which you had to give your body to get. Your guilt will ruin your marriage. Find noble ways to prosper. Using sex as a currency in the workplace is a dangerous game. It's better to take a second job than to sell your dignity. Financial challenges can strain marriages, but honesty and teamwork can overcome them.
No, unless your spouse is into it.
I don't know.
You know, it's like that Indecent Proposal movie. I don't know if you remember that movie.
No.
The guy, this rich man, offers this guy, I think it was $1 million.
Bang his wife or some shit, yeah.
So he could spend the night with his wife, and he decided, yes, let's take the $1 million and just stay one night.
Nope, fucking way. Nope.
That's why I said, unless the spouse is into it.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of weird people out there, so
there's always a person. There's always one.
That's an episode I want to do, like that whole OnlyFans and the weird shit that I've heard. I've heard some weird shit of people, like celebrities, people, like regular people that, you know, have OnlyFans, and like the weird shit that they get requested on. You know, couples being on it. You know, men parading their women for money.
Yeah,
women parading their men for money. So, that's gonna be one of the episodes soon, I guess. But yeah, the weird shit people request is that's gonna be a rated M episode.
Rated mature.
So anyway, so the fix is be transparent about money, set a budget together, even if it's tight, and work toward financial goals as a team. 100%. Yep. Side hustles that don't compromise your integrity are better than compromising your marriage. Yep. 16. When curiosity killed the commitment. When you're curious about threesomes, orgies, how sex with other people of different ages, tribes, or cultures feel like, you will find yourself in a complicated mess. Marriage is not for curious people, but committed people. Marriage isn't a science experiment. Curiosity about people, cultures, or what ifs can lead to a mess. Commit to your spouse, not your daydreams. What's the fix? Focus on building a deeper connection with your spouse rather than chasing novelty. Instead of wondering about what ifs, create new adventures together. Travel, learn something new, or try exciting date nights.
Yeah, anything with threesomes. If once you're willing to it, that right there itself is that you don't care about your spouse. You know, if it's, let's say it's one girl and two guys. If the guy is willing to let someone bang his wife while he's there, he really doesn't care for her.
That's a cuck. Nope. I got lost here. Okay, 17. False accusations. I feel like this list is going on forever. Some people get so disappointed that their spouse accuses them of cheating, so they go on to cheat to prove their spouse right. This solves nothing but compounds problems in marriage. If you know you're innocent, assure your spouse to help deal with his or her fears and insecurities. Being accused of cheating can hurt, but cheating to quote-unquote prove them right makes no sense. Reassure your spouse, address insecurities, and avoid unnecessary drama. Number 18. Alcohol. Many have found themselves waking up in bed with someone not their spouse because of alcohol, and they don't know how it happened. If alcohol makes you do things you regret, why drink? Alcohol lowers inhibitions and common sense. If you can't drink without bad decisions, maybe it's time for a seltzer water phase. So what is the fix? Know your limits. If you know alcohol makes you do things you regret, stick to mocktails or stop drinking altogether. A clear mind means fewer mistakes. Number 19 is impatience. Some people give up on their marriage too easily and quick, and once you have emotionally checked out, your body will yield to other people's bodies. Marriage is not for quitters. Don't be irrational. Quitting your marriage, then wanting it back. Marriage takes work. If you're quick to throw in the towel, you're more likely to give in to temptation. Remember, nothing worthwhile comes easy. So what is the fix? Remind yourself why you married your spouse in the first place. Relationships aren't sprints, they're marathons. Seek guidance from mentors or counselors when you hit a rough patch instead of throwing in the towel. All right, so by popular demand, we have a game, right? Before we go down the last, 3? 20, 21, 22.
Okay.
Let's do fail, male, or meh. You know the rules. This is where we go down the list. 7 things, and we give our opinion on whether we think it's manly, not manly, or neither. It's meh. Then we compare what percentage of men agree or disagree with us. So let's do some fail, male, or meh.
And now it's time for Grit on the Rocks' Male, Fail, or May, where our host and guest go down today's list and share their opinion on whether they think if it's manly or not, or neither, and see if men across America agree. Now give it up for our Grit on the Rocks show host.
All right, thank you. Welcome back to another game of fail, male, or meh. So number 1 on our list of 7 things to see if they are manly, not manly, or neither, however you say it. Number 1 is wearing a silk robe with matching slippers. Is it male, fail, or meh?
Fail.
You think it's a fail?
Well, no. It depending. I was just seeing it's some sort of. I'll go with meh. It's neither. It's
You
neither.
think it's meh?
Yeah.
All right. Nope. 28% of men think that luxury screams alpha vibes. Hugh Hefner did it, so why can I? 44% think that unless you're holding a cigar, this feels questionable. And 28% of men think that slippers are comfy. We'll give you that. But the silk robe,
Yeah, but think of Hugh Hefner. He was always with the silk robe and the sandals and whatnot. Cigar, just surrounded by women. But you also think that women use that a lot also, silk robes.
well, that's women, yeah. That's why it's not manly to wear them for women. Okay, number 2. Ordering a pumpkin spice latte at a coffee shop. Is it male, fail, or meh?
I go with male, manly.
You think it's manly?
Yeah. Yeah.
28% of men, no, 16% of men fall by vibes, bro. Own your basic status. 55% think that it's a fail because real men drink their coffee black or pretend they do. 29% believe that you lost us at whipped cream, but do you? So, I mean, it might be a fail according to this statistic, but I would have to say, whether it's manly or not, I enjoy a nice pumpkin spice latte. It's the only time where Starbucks gets my money. I think they're the best at it.
I haven't tasted it, so
I hate their coffee, but their pumpkin spice latte is fuego. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts tried and they failed miserably, but pumpkin spice latte, Starbucks, whew, good shit. Whether it's manly or not, I don't care. Good shit. I love it. Anyway, number 3, getting a pedicure at a spa. Is it male, fail, or meh?
Meh.
You think it's meh?
Yeah, it don't matter who does it, as long as you keep your feet nice and clean and well groomed.
Okay.
Seriously?
36% of men saw feet. That's just good maintenance, fellas. So 36% of men believe it's manly. 42% of men think it's a fail, that it's not manly. But do you really need that glossy, clear coat? And 22% of men believe that it's neither. As long as you don't Instagram it, it's fine.
Yeah, some people take pictures of their feet and stuff.
I've never done it, but I've been wanting to do it, to go to
I get embarrassed.
And do I don't give a shit, but
I get embarrassed.
Do like a couples thing with my
don't
wife.
Get me wrong. I don't have crusty feet.
Yeah,
I have crusty feet, but yeah, it's still there's something that somebody just scrubbing your feet, and I don't know. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done it, but I've been meaning to, and I will. I want to get a whole mani-pedi. Yep.
So go with your wife. Take it one day.
That's like she always tells me. She goes, "We should do it. We should do it." And it's never happened, but it will. Okay, number 4, wearing leopard print boxers. Male, fail, or meh?
That's a fail.
Think it's a fail?
Yeah. Hey.
All right. 20% of men believe that confidence is sexy, and who doesn't want to feel like Tarzan? 52% of men believe that it's a fail. You're trying too hard, buddy. And 28% of men feel that it's neither, that it's meh. Your underwear, your business, we guess. All right. Number 5, complaining about cold weather while wearing a puffer jacket. Male, fail, or meh?
Not man. It's not manly. And usually men will not complain. No matter how cold they are, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not cold." And they could be freezing their ass off. So I'm going with not manly.
I think it's a fail. Yeah. All right. 31% of men believe that it's rugged. You're surviving the elements. 46% of men believe that it's a fail, that it's not manly. Because unless you're scaling Mount Everest, tone it down.
Yeah.
And 23% of men believe that it's neither. Are we supposed to care about your temperature? Number 6, owning a custom-made candle collection. Male, fail, or meh?
Fail. That's not manly at all. Candle collection would be something women would do.
All right. 22% of men believe that it's manly, that scents set the mood. Who doesn't love whiskey and leather? I do like candles. Like I have.
Yeah, but you're not gonna go collecting them.
Not really collecting. No, I have them there and light them every so often.
Yeah, well, exactly. I like having my own candles also. Light them up. You can smell in the house, in the apartment, whatnot.
Yeah, like but, I have a. This one is called Cigar Lounge, that it smells very good. Even my wife likes it too.
Cigar Lounge?
Yeah, it doesn't smell like a cigar lounge.
Okay.
It's called Cigar Lounge. I have one that it's Cocktail Lounge, some shit. Those are I usually when I'm in the mood. When I'm reading, if I take out time to just sit and read, I'll put some very low, maybe cigar loungy music, and I'll light the candle and just it's good for just focusing. All right, so 22% of men believe that it's manly, right? Scent set the mood. Who doesn't love a whiskey and leather candles? 48% of men believe that it's a fail. We draw the line at floral garden scents. And 30% of men believe that it's neither. Candles are cool, just don't give them names like Moonlit Memories. Number 7, last one on the list, is using selfie filters that add bunny ears or flower crowns. Male, fail, or meh?
Off the back, that's a fail.
It's a fail. All right. 10% of men believe that it's manly. It's for kids. or is it? 72% of men believe that it's not manly, that it's a fail. No explanation needed, just stop. And 18% of men believe, that it's neither. We get it, you're experimenting, but maybe not this way. Now, what cracks me up is when I see pictures on social media of like couples and the wife puts a filter and the man also has it, like with makeup and all that shit. That shit cracks me up. Anyway, so that concludes our male, fail, or meh for this week. Now let's finish off this list that has felt so long.
Yeah, 22 was too much.
Yeah, it was a lot. So 20 is unfinished business. An ex that you were sexually involved with can be a huge threat to your marriage, especially if you didn't fully end things. You will find yourself running to him or her when things between you and your spouse are bad. And due to history, things can get intimate very quick. Close the door to your past. If you are weak, block your ex. Don't let your spouse who is in your present and your future be uncomfortable about your past. If your ex still has your number or your heart, you're playing with fire. Close the door to the past so you can focus on the future. What's the fix? Cut the cord, block them on social media, delete their number, and focus on building trust with your spouse.
What about they have a kid in common? You can't do that. You can't do that. If they have a kid in common, you can't block out, they always have to talk about something if it's about the child.
Okay, so if you have a kid, don't do that. Your marriage deserves a clean slate, not baggage from the past. 21. Friends with blurred lines. A friend of the opposite gender can get so close that you let your guard down and boundaries get crossed. Learn to draw the line by especially when you feel you are being drawn away from your spouse to the point where you are defending your friend but ignoring your spouse. When your quote-unquote friendship with someone of the opposite sex starts to feel a little too friendly, it's time to draw boundaries. If you're defending your friend more than your spouse, something's off. What is the fix? Set clear boundaries with friends of the opposite gender. If you feel a friendship is getting too close for comfort, take a step back. Your spouse should always feel like number one. Yep. And number 22, last one on the list before we wrap up this episode, is lack of vision. When you and your spouse have nothing to look up to together, and you have reduced your marriage to just doing chores and paying bills, you will easily abandon your marriage and build a vision with another. Come up with a joint vision as a couple. People commit best when they know where they are going. Whether it's saving for a house, planning a trip, or just surviving a PTA meeting, having a shared vision strengthens your bond. What is the fix? Create a shared vision for the future. Whether it's planning a dream vacation, starting a business together, or simply renovating the house, having common goals keeps you both invested in the relationship. So that concludes our list of 22 reasons people cheat in marriage and how to stop, right? Sabotaging your relationship, how to stop it before it even happens. So these are some statistics, right? Okay. So these are some statistics that we can look at quickly here. And it says that 20 to 25% of married individuals admit to cheating at least once. Couples with shared goals are 50% less likely to divorce. And 68% of affairs start at work or online. So take care of yourselves from all this. Avoid it. Okay? So to wrap up the show, every marriage has its challenges, but with communication, commitment, a little humor, you can navigate through rough patches. Remember, no marriage is perfect, but it can be perfectly yours if you both put in the effort. Cheers to keeping marriage strong, your temptations weak, and your love thriving. Remember to keep gratitude as your attitude. Keep your spirits high, your cigars lit, your glasses full, and your conversations meaningful. Till next one, my friends.